After 8 years of uploading unknown and hidden features videos for Samsung devices, one thing has become crystal clear. Most people don't even know the basic features. So keep track as I go through the top 25 basic yet powerful Samsung features you probably don't know. And comment down below with your score. I'm willing to bet the average score is going to be less than 12. Let's get started. If you want to quickly switch back and forth between two applications, all you have to do is double tap the Recent Apps button. If you like to use a lot of widgets, but don't like them taking up all the space on your home screen, you can actually just long press them and stack them on top of each other. And once they're stacked, you can just swipe across them to see all of your widgets. And if you ever want to edit the stack, just long press it and tap Edit Stack. If you tap the clock on your lock screen, you'll be met with a bunch of different widgets. And if you tap Settings at the bottom and log into your phone, you can customize those widgets. If you go to your recent applications, you can long press an application and drag it to one of the sides to open it up in a split screen view and quickly open up a second application alongside it. And if I long press an application and dragged it to the center, it would open it up in a pop-up view, which is especially useful for something like a calculator. And in case you're wondering, this does also work with Samsung's phones. In the camera app, if you swipe across your zoom levels instead of tapping them, you can get a much smoother and more controlled zoom. If you have your phone set up on a tripod to take a picture, and you have a Samsung phone with an S Pen, you can just take the S Pen out, get ready for your shot, then press the S Pen button to take the picture. Just make sure the S Pen is hidden when you're taking the picture. And as a bonus advanced feature, if you hold the S Pen button down while drawing a clockwise circle, you can zoom in. And if you draw a counterclockwise circle, you can zoom out. And if you don't have anywhere to hide your S Pen for the photo, you can just set up a timer to give yourself enough time to put the S Pen away before taking the photo. And if you want an easier way to take a picture with the front-facing camera, just raise your hand in front of the camera for a second, that'll start a timer, and then take the picture. And if you're wondering how I got multiple pictures to be taken with one timer, you can check out this video right here. If you go to Settings, then Display, then scroll down about halfway until you get to Navigation Bar and tap that, you can switch to Swipe Gestures, which gives you iPhone-style navigation. This means you can swipe up to go home, swipe up and hold to go to your recent applications, swipe across the bottom to go back and forth between your most recently used applications, and even swipe in from the right or left sides to go back. If you have a fold-style device or a Samsung tablet and you're using the swipe-style navigation, you can minimize this app bar at the bottom by long pressing just to the side of it. Then you can long press to the side of it again and bring it right back. And speaking of this app bar, if you long press one of the applications, you can quickly drop them into a split screen view. If you use Samsung's built-in internet browser, you can swipe across this bar at the bottom to go back and forth between your open tabs. And while we're on this page, I do want to quickly point out that we're just a couple days away from one of Samsung's biggest sales events of the year. If you want to learn how to save big on Samsung's latest products, including phones, TVs, monitors, as well as things like refrigerators, then check out the links in the pinned comment. The Edge panel is an incredibly useful feature that's available on Samsung's tablets and smartphones, and I highly recommend enabling this if you haven't already. Not only does this give you quick access to any application you want, but you can long press one of these applications and drag them out for multi-window view. Or you can drag an application to the middle for pop-up view. And here's a bonus feature. If you're using a pop-up view for something like a calculator, you can tap this bar at the top, then this double square icon here, and lower the transparency of the window. This allows you to use the calculator while still seeing what's behind it at the same time. If you have the Edge screen enabled, and there's a pair of applications that you always open together, you can tap the middle bar between the two applications, then tap this star icon, and you can add that to your app's Edge panel. Now, if I go back to the Edge panel and swipe to the bottom, I can tap the app pair, and it'll open up both applications in the orientation that I previously had it set to. If you don't have your Edge panel enabled for some reason, you can quickly enable it by going to Settings, then Display, then scrolling a little over halfway down until you get to Edge Panels and enabling that toggle. And if you tap the Edge Panels text, then Panels, you can select which panels you have enabled. The panel that I was just showing you is called the Apps panel. There's a quick toggle called Link to Windows, and if you enable this on both your phone and your Windows computer, you'll be able to control every aspect of your phone right from your computer. But in terms of basic features, I primarily use this to send and receive text messages on my computer. Most people get to their quick toggles by swiping down twice with one finger, but you can get there a lot faster by swiping down once with 2 fingers. And speaking of quick toggles, if you tap the text below one of the quick toggles, you get a pop-up menu that allows you to adjust the parameters for that toggle. This includes things like changing your flashlight brightness, or even selecting a different Bluetooth device to connect to. And if you long press a toggle, it'll take you straight to the detailed settings for that toggle. If you want faster access to your brightness adjustment, just tap these 3 dots in the upper right corner, then tap Quick Panel Layout, then tap Brightness Control, and switch it to Show Always. Now, if you just swipe down once, you'll see the brightness control right at the top. You can quickly mute alarms and calls by putting your palm on the screen. If you ever need to scan a QR code, just open up your camera app, aim it at that QR code, and tap the link. And speaking of camera features, if you need to scan a document, just aim your camera at the document, and you get a little T icon in the bottom right corner. If you tap that T, it'll take a quick picture, then let you adjust the outlines of that document, and when you tap Save, it'll save a cropped version of that document. If you want to move a bunch of applications on your home screen, instead of just long pressing one at a time and dragging it around, just long press one of them once, tap Select, then select whichever applications you want to move, then long press again, and you can drag those wherever you'd like. While we're talking about the home screen, if you long press or pinch in to get to your home screen editor, you can actually long press one of your home pages and drag it around to a different position. This is much faster than manually moving around each application and widget. And if you want to change which page is your home page, just tap the home icon at the top. And if you swipe all the way to the left, you'll be able to disable Google Discover. If you have a Samsung device with an S Pen, you can wave the pen around in different patterns to control any of your smart devices. Okay, maybe that one isn't a basic feature, but if you want to learn how to set it up, you can check out this video over here. Or if you want to see a bunch of advanced features, you can check out that video over there. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more deep dive videos just like this. That's it for this tech-isode. God bless, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.